Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Carnage Reviews. My name is Eric. Recently, I had a bit of trouble with my video on the movie Blood Rage. First, they blocked my video from being released because of copyright, even though the clips I used, hundreds of creators on YouTube have used these same exact clips. But whatever, I took the clips out and butchered my video a little bit. I have to admit, I'm not 100% happy with the way that the Blood Rage review is now because of that. But oh well, you move on. And then they said my thumbnail that I used was too violent. So they removed that and I had to make a new thumbnail. It's okay to have a bunch of scam video ads, and it's also okay to have a bunch of videos of teenagers going into Walmart and trying to live there, but a fake severed head is a big no-no. So I've decided I'm going to focus on more family-friendly content. And nothing screams family-friendly content quite like Japanese splatter porn film Tumbling Doll of Flesh. Just a quick reminder to please consider subscribing to the channel. It's free and is the best way to keep up to date with my latest content. Tumbling Doll of Flesh, aka Niku Duruma, was directed by Tamakichi Inaru. It's a found footage film similar to Guinea Pig, Flower and Flesh and Blood, or the August Underground films. This film pushes the boundaries even more by not only including gore and violence, but also graphic sex. The plot, well, what there is of a plot anyways, concerns two porn filmmakers and a female and male actor going to a house to make a custom fetish film. When you're in Japan and you're making a custom fetish film, you might be in trouble. At first, things start out innocently enough, well, as innocent as you can get, anyways. They film a few different sexual positions, they joke around a bit, the typical stuff you do after church on a Sunday. They then have a really nice dinner. I mean, seriously, this dinner looked good. I was jealous of it. But then they get to the bondage. After the female actor becomes uncomfortable with what they're trying to get her to do, the director gets upset, and after a little back and forth, they decide to stop. They tell the girl she can leave, and the director offers her a ride to the bus station, but faster than you can say, batter up, the director knocks her out with a baseball bat and drags her body back to the set where they do all kinds of horrible and graphic things to her, making her a tumbling doll of flesh. Like August Underground, Tumbling Doll of Flesh presents itself like a home movie. We see the characters do mundane things like go to the store, have idle chit-chat, with some hardcore sex thrown in the middle. It's almost like watching a behind-the-scenes of a porno film. It takes a bit for the film to get going, which in itself is uncomfortable because you know something fucked up is going to happen, but we're forced to sit through hardcore sex scenes before we get to the gore. The sex scenes are, I guess, typical of what you might see in a porno film, I suppose. I don't really know, honestly. But they are uncomfortable because you know what's going to happen eventually, which I think is the whole point of it, perhaps. Given that this is a Japanese film, the sex is censored, so you're not actually really seeing like genitalia and whatnot. I mean, you can tell what's going on very clearly, but you're not really going to see it in graphic detail. The main difference between this film and a film like August Underground is that Tumbling Doll of Flesh has very noticeable editing, and it also has screen effects and music. And I guess this was probably done maybe to cue the audience in that this is fake, or perhaps somehow add to the effect of the film. I'm not sure, but it definitely is very noticeable, and it cues you in that you are watching a movie, not a real snuff film, which thank God for that. Tumbling Doll of Flesh, and really any movie like this, I don't think was made to be enjoyed. It's not the type of movie you're going to watch with friends on a Saturday night, and it's not the type of movie where you're going to be sitting around and saying to yourself, you know what? I've had a really bad day. I'm really depressed. I'm going to watch Tumbling Doll of Flesh to make myself feel better. Well, maybe if you're Ted Bundy, you might say that, but otherwise, probably not. The gore effects in the film range from looking not so great to looking pretty good. There's a part where the woman gets her foot chopped off, and it doesn't look that good. The foot looks a little weird. Luckily, though, they did put a sock on the foot, so it kind of made it from looking completely fake, but otherwise, yeah. And then there's also a part where the male actor takes a knife and he's stabbing it into the woman's leg. And the leg just looks weird for some reason. It looks like it's something that they filled up with a bunch of meat, which probably is maybe what they did, but it just looked kind of strange to me. In my opinion, the best looking effect in the film is when the woman gets her hand chopped off, especially at the beginning when they first start doing it. It looks pretty realistic. And you know what? You gotta give the woman a hand for her performance. You know what I find interesting about these types of movies? And this isn't knocking the genre at all. Like, I respect this genre and I appreciate the work that goes into it. These are not easy films to make, even though it looks like they are. But what's interesting is that the more you watch these types of films, the less impactful they become. And I don't mean that about any particular film in general. Like, August Underground Mortem, that movie ruined me the first time. But then when I rewatched it again for the review, it was like I just felt kind of numb towards it, I guess. And the same can be said for Tumbling Doll of Flesh. Like, the first time I watched it, it was shocking. Then when I rewatched it again for the review, it was like, eh. So I suppose with these types of films, really, they're only meant to be watched once. But if you're like me, you enjoy rewatching movies. But with these types of films, you really can't watch them more than once. Otherwise, they just lose their impact. So I'm not going to give Tumbling Doll of Flesh a skull rating. Not because I don't think it deserves a rating, but as I've said, I think that these types of films aren't really meant to be enjoyed for entertainment purposes, anyways. But I'll say this: if you like watching disturbing films like the Guinea Pig series or August Underground, then you will probably like watching Tumbling Doll of Flesh. It has some pretty effective special effects, and you can't get any more disturbing than this film, really, because this film pushes the boundaries, even more so than August Underground, I feel. And August Underground, especially Mortem, is pretty messed up, so you can only imagine what Tumbling Doll of Flesh is like. Tamakichi Naru, which I'm pretty sure isn't his real name, has made a few other films that I know of, anyways. And I'm pretty sure the only other film of his that's available in the US that you can buy from like a store like Amazon, yeah, Tumbling Doll of Flesh is on Amazon, believe it or not. But, anyways, the only other film that I know of that's available to buy is called Women's Flesh, My Red Guts, which I don't know if I'm going to see that one or not. Who am I kidding? It's going to end up in my collection sooner or later, so there you go. So expect a review on that one sometime in the future. Thanks for checking out today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please tap that like button. And if you've seen Tumbling Doll Flesh and you're not afraid to admit it, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the film. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. Remember, if you're in Japan and you're approached to be in a porno film or a fetish film, run. Take care, guys. Bye bye.